Hello? Are we all met? Well, I certainly hope so. What is going on, my survivors? It's me, Papa the Survivor, the VTuber survivor from the future, and I am here with just an impromptu chill stream. So yeah, this was not on the schedule. Friday, I was supposed to stream Xenoverse 2, but okay, so here's the thing. We have a house cleaner, who comes probably like once a month. So they were supposed to come on Friday at noon, but I think they got held up with another job or something, and they were coming from far, so they didn't show up till I think 3 o'clock or something, like 3 o'clock or 3:30. So I wouldn't be able to have access to the PC or even a place to stream. So even if I went and got like something else to stream with, I wouldn't have any place to go to stream to play Xenoverse 2, because Xenoverse 2 is only on this PC. So that's the problem. Yeah. And I only stream from this PC. So until I get a new PC with Xenoverse 2 on it, I can't really... Yeah. And even then, if I were to move it to my room, they're cleaning my room anyways, so... It was just... Yeah, I couldn't stream, because they were busy cleaning, and you'd be hearing them, and you'd be hearing the dog, and it was just... It just wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. It was unfortunate and unplanned, but... I canceled the Xenoverse 2 stream on Friday, and I was like, oh, I'll do some guerrilla impromptu stream on Sunday, and here we are. I didn't really have anything planned to play. I think maybe I will just yap a little bit, and then I wanted to react to some stuff on YouTube, so that's probably what we're gonna be doing today. But anywho, how is it going? How was everybody's Valentine's Day? If you have a significant other, a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you call your other half, your better half. How was it? How was it? Did you feed into the late stage consumerism capitalism, or did you just keep it low key and chill? Me? For me, I just played Helldivers 2. I just played Helldivers 2 with the boys. That being my brother and a group chat of people I met in a Helldivers 2 Discord server. So like there's a Helldiver like Grand Community Alliance. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a big ol' like Helldivers Discord based community of like a bunch of different Discord servers. And they all like play up like different divisions of, of like the Helldivers core. So I joined one. I joined a regiment, I guess. So I joined a regiment, like a Discord server. I joined a Discord server. I picked a faction. Actually, that's what it would be. Yeah. So it's different Helldivers factions, and then those factions have like little subdivisions, but there's subdivisions within the faction Discord server. So yeah, in the Discord server, like I see notifications for like orders like, this group is at this planet, this group is at that planet doing so and so missions, or we're all following the major order, etc., etc. So it's a good way for me to keep up with the game. Like even when I don't have access to the Helldivers Companion, which is basically a map of the Helldivers and updates, like giving you major order updates and letting you see the map, even if you're not playing the game. And it's really cool. But yeah. Oh. What I wanted to also talk about was the Discord situation. So, March 29th, they are going to enforce ID verification for all users, which is a bad idea. I think anyone with a brain or any semblance of online security knows do not give out your personal information on the internet. So a lot of people are jumping ship from Discord to other alternatives. Three major ones that I've been seeing pop up, or no, two major ones that I've been seeing pop up. One is Stoat, which a lot of people are flocking to because it has a mobile app. At first, I was like, what's Stoat? What does Stoat have that all of the other ones don't? And then, yeah, I was like, oh, it's got a mobile app. That makes sense. I didn't think about that because all of the other Discord alternatives are still locked to PC. Like, I think being like just a browser thing. And then there's Matrix, which is like completely self-hosted. Like, you set it up yourself, and then it's pretty much similar to Discord's UI. But the thing is that Matrix is locked to PC, and it's very DIY. Like, you kind of need to go into like the settings and then set it up yourself with anything you want it to have. And I think, the regular normie person like probably won't go to Matrix. I think that's probably why they're going to Stoat. Which, there's nothing wrong with Stoat. I've seen Stoat. It's very similar. And there's a mobile app, so there's that. But it's apparently like, getting DDoS because everyone is jumping ship to it. I probably won't jump to Stoat as well. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably try my luck with three ones. I'll use Stoat because it's got mobile. I'll use Matrix because it's on PC and it can be encrypted. And then I saw Fluxer, which is a PC-based one, and it's also super similar to Discord's UI. I was like, oh, dude, that's literally just Discord. And it comes with voice chat. So yeah, I'll try out all three for like a good month after the enforcing hits. I'm still gonna hang on to Discord. I'm not gonna leave Discord because depending on what happens, I'll probably also talk with a bunch of people in those Discord servers. Like, hey, what are you gonna do when Discord, when Discord starts enforcing the thing? Are we gonna close the server and move to a different app? So and so. But if they're gonna stay and nothing's changed, because it does say it locks you to like a teens only mode. But that depends because Helldivers is not a rated T for teen, it is M for mature. So I don't know. I'll just have to wait. I'll wait and see. It could be, for me, it could be a server by server basis. I'll just need to wait, honestly. Because instead of Discord servers, I could just keep group chats. I could just keep Discord simply for like a person-to-person chats. You know what I mean? But I'll need to wait and see. Ugh. Sorry. I tried to swallow, but I guess I had a cough and then a swallow. There we go. Alright. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh, yeah. Alright, so let me exit out of this. Thank you, Creator Mix. Thank you for the wonderful... Thank you for the wonderful background music. But what I really wanted to start was the Second Punic War. So that is what we will be doing.
At the merch store for some new
So let's see. Alright, so captions on. We are in theater mode, cinema mode. It looks good, so let's do it.
Check out the merch store for some new character pins, the last remaining bucket plushies, and even a calendar. All right, our beloved merchandise. Let's
Oh, hold on, let me...
okay.
I need to up the volume.
Hey, thank you one and all for your hard work fighting in the First Punic War. Would have been nice if you'd won. Maybe tried a little harder. But this isn't the finger-pointing convention.
Here we go.
You have one thing on your minds. Hey, when are we all getting paid?
Because if you don't remember, we were watching the first Punic War by Oversimplified, for my birthday / anniversary stream last month. So this is a continuation. The second Punic War, it follows Hannibal. If you don't know, the ancient leader of the Phoenicians or Carthaginians, Hannibal, most famously known for war elephants. So, yeah.
Okay, Jim, why don't you tell them? I'm not telling them. You tell them. Ugh.
Tell them what?
You're not getting paid. We lost.
Oh, you don't tell your mercenaries they're not getting paid.
Of course we can't pay you in full. Let's burn this place to the ground.
Uh-oh.
Hey! Don't burn this place to the ground.
Why?
Come on, fellas. Will killing us really make you feel better about your money?
Yes, it will. Oh, dang.
Way to go, sir. Shut up, Jim. You're fired. I guess that makes 2 of us. Huh?
Uh-oh.
In the aftermath of the First Punic War, Carthage's disgruntled mercenaries, left unpaid for all their hard work, revolted, and Carthage found itself caught up in an extremely destructive mercenary
war. Oh, the mercenaries were attacking the Carthaginians.
To fight the mercenaries they couldn't afford to pay, and Carthage came dangerously close to collapse.
Oh boy.
All the while, across the water,
And Rome was just sitting pretty.
Rome. Ha! Look at those morons. We just kicked their ass in the First Punic War, and now their own mercenaries are revolting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to happen after a war.
Second one?
You mean there's gonna be a second one?
So almost certainly, yes. The Romans
Oh.
take advantage of
That's
the
what. Wait, I was like, wait, there's gonna be a second one? Yeah, because we're gonna take advantage of the situation and attack them. Which they did.
To Rome. Hot diggity dog, said the Romans. That's free real estate. And so
Oh, the meme.
Whoa!
It's free real estate.
Whoa. That's our island. Get the hell off. Hey, they requested our help. We're simply helping. Oh, no, you don't. Look, we're sending our own army to deal with the rebels, okay? But just to be clear, we're not trying to start a fight with you, so, don't declare war on us or anything. War! We surrender! And as part of the peace treaty, we get to keep these islands.
Oh, that's so good.
Hopping mad, as if their humiliating
That is
loss in the First
so
War
funny.
wasn't bad enough. The Romans now took advantage of their mercenary problem and stole their islands. This shocking
Yoink.
land grab was pretty hard to justify.
I mean, yeah, when you're in war and you want territory,
Additionally,
you're like,
Romans
hey,
demanded Carthage
look at
pay them
that.
even more money on
Our
top of
enemy
what
is
was already
freaking
owed.
disorganized.
Rome was
Let's
trying
go
to
grab
make
this from
Carthage
them.
as mad as possible. They were doing a fantastic job. The seeds of a second Punic War were being sown, and they were being watered with Carthaginian tears. Resentment in Carthage only continued to grow. Eventually, Carthage solved their mercenary problem thanks to Carthaginian military genius and hero of the First Punic War,
Hamilcar Barca.
He sorted those naughty mercenaries out with
Yep,
some good old
if you remember him.
atrocities, and the destructive mercenary war was over. Still, all was not
Ah, okay, so they quelled the rebels.
Mere
Good.
decades ago, they were the top dogs in the Western Mediterranean. Now, After the crushing defeat in the First Punic War and a huge bill to pay the Romans, Carthage
How much do they need to pay?
under Rome's thumb. What on earth were they supposed to do? If they wanted any chance at regaining their former strength, there was one thing they needed now, more than anything. Money. But as long as they
Yep.
owed Rome $1 bazillion, there was
You
nothing.
can't do anything without money.
Fortunately for them, amongst their ranks, there was one big hunk of a man with one big clump of a brain. Me!
Hamilcar Barca!
Yes! Wait, why do you all have the exact same voice? I have it too!
Okay, oversimplified.
First Punic
Wait,
War,
I have it
greatest
too!
general alive, and the poster above my bed. Hamilcar Barca had an idea. All right, we need money? Well, I've got one word for you. Spain. An area filled with
Lucrative silver mines.
from which the silver would flow like a river. And
Oh yeah,
would be stuffed.
we could use silver. Get the silver, melt it down into coins, we got money.
You send me with an army to Spain. I'll expand our territory, get those silver mines up and running, and we'll be able to pay the Romans back in no time. Okay, but just to check, you're not secretly raising the money to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree against Rome, are you? Because we can't afford that. Hanno, my dear, I'm simply going to pay them back.
Okay.
Well, that wasn't reassuring. Few in Carthage.
Well, that wasn't reassuring. I would've just been like, okay, I'll take your word for it.
98% of his brain matter had been reallocated to thoughts of revenge.
Oh, dang.
He was also
Dang, dude.
Carthaginian politicians. For
But I mean, he did lose the First
cowardly
Punic
betrayal
War.
when they surrendered at the end of the last war. And so for Hamilcar, going to Spain meant being able to act independently from the weak Carthaginian government, building his own strength, and then perhaps somewhere down the line, revenge. However,
Wow, that is some deep revenge.
Hannibal? Yes, father?
Hannibal!
Come with me to build an
You have to come with me to build an empire in
Oh,
Spain?
boy, would I! Barbara, mind if I take our 9-year-old son with me? I want to implant an...
Cause yeah, that's of course what you do with your 9-year-old son in ancient times. Hey son, I'm gonna teach you how to go to war.
Promises.
And then you will become a general when you're older.
Hannibal would accompany his father, watching, learning. Boy, you see that city over there? Yes, father? That?
Oh, this is our Lion King reference.
You know what we do to Romans? No, father. We hate them, Hannibal. We hate them with every fiber of our being. But why, father? Can't I just play with my Digimons? No, son!
I just play with my
Everything
Digimons.
From us. Our land, our wealth, our pride. Those animals.
Oh, there it is.
Tear them limb from limb. I'll burn their pathetic city to the ground. Dad? I'm sorry, son. I've just never been so
Never been
proud.
so proud. Keep going.
I'll slaughter their people. I'll cut off their faces and wear them as masks. I love you so much. After taking Hannibal to the Temple of Baal and having him swear an oath never to be a friend of Rome,
Swear an oath to ball.
for their lovely beach holiday in Spain. But Spain was already inhabited by many tribespeople.
Iberians, the
When Hamilcar
Celts, and
suddenly showed up in their
Celtiberians.
territory, they were like, "Hey, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? I'm teaching my son how to become a warrior like me." Aw, well that's sweet. Well then, little guy, let's see what you got. Good boy.
Good,
As Hamilcar
good boy.
got to work fighting the tribes of Iberia and expanding Carthaginian influence.
And that's pretty much where it started.
Child of war.
Hannibal was raised on the battlefield. Or, yeah, Hannibal.
Grew to become a
His dad is
great
Hamilcar.
military leader
Hannibal was raised on the
himself,
battlefield.
making his father very proud. I love you so much, son. Dad, not in front of the enemy. You killed that guy so well, son. The Barcas successfully consolidated Carthaginian power, got those silver mines up and running.
This is one thing I like.
sending buckets of
Humor
cash back
and
to
history.
money-starved Carthage.
That's two things.
Symbolizing Carthage's regrowing strength, a beautiful new city would eventually be founded in Spain. New Carthage, with a magnificent
New Carthage.
palace at
Man,
its
look at that
center.
elephant go.
Carthage is back,
Elephant's doing the shuffle. Every day shuffling.
Apollo is going on here. Romans flowing silver
Apollo?
wheels, dancing
Apollo is
horses.
Greek.
What are you up to, Hamilcar? I'm simply gathering the money to pay you back. Oh, well, okay then. Or are you rebuilding strength to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree? Like I said, Claudius,
Oh,
I'm simply
I'm trying to pay you.
back. Aw. You guys are hugging. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
I was.
I was.
I was hugging.
Hmm.
Hamilcar had practically carved out a kingdom for himself in Spain, free from the meddling Carthaginian politicians. His power was becoming immense. But Dad, yes, my son? I'm confused. Are we really simply
I'm
paying the
confused.
Romans
Are we
back?
simply paying the
We're not
Romans
gonna go on a
back?
bloodthirsty revenge spree? Of course we are. I'm just saying that to get the Romans off our backs. Listen, here's the most important life lesson I have for you. Vengeance is everything.
Okay.
All-encompassing thirst for vengeance is great for your mental health. Are you still confused? No, I get it.
No.
But
I get
let's
it.
find out what we're up to. They won't. Carthaginian
They
recovery
won't.
had been staggeringly quick, and Rome.
Oh, that must have been a NordVPN sponsor
But they were also preoccupied with
that I skipped.
elsewhere.
Yay! Sponsor block.
War to the north, where they were enslaving thousands of northern Celts. So for now, to keep Carthage in check, the Romans insisted on a new treaty. See this river?
But yep, if anyone is
that everything above it was
anyone
in
here
sphere of influence,
browses the
while
internet,
beneath it
please
was
use the
Carthage.
Brave browser.
Under no
Also,
circumstances
if you are
were
watching
Carthaginians
YouTube,
to
please
expand north
get
of
the
that river.
the YouTube
But for
sponsor
now,
block
Hamilcar
extension.
and son were living it up. Well, son, here's to many more years of successful campaigning in Spain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just have to go fight those guys. See you later, son. I love
Really gonna ride your horse?
What the?
What
Oh,
the?
crap.
Ah,
I drowned? Oh, well.
no, you
Always
got
remember,
speared.
son, You
You shouldn't have rode your horse across the river.
Also, delete my browsing history. Hamilcar Barca was
tragically ambushed at a river.
His
Oh, he did
son,
drown.
and possibly also his
Hadrible.
no further questions. Took charge for a while, but he too was
Or Hasdrubal.
assassinated.
Oh, he was killed.
Finally, at 26-year-old Hannibal
26?
of the Carthaginian armies in Spain. Sources say the men readily accepted him as their leader. He chose to suffer the same hardships as his men. He lived
Well, like, I could be able to do that at 26.
into battle and the last one out. And it also helped that he looked a lot like his dad. He had the total respect of his men. If he said jump, they said how high. If he said tuck me in, they said how tight. If he said talk to a girl without peeing your pants, they said that's impossible.
That's impossible. Nobody can do
An
that.
army that would follow him anywhere would be crucial for
Yep, he was the boss.
against Rome.
The boss says black is white, then so it is.
Strong and loyal fighting force, and that was making a certain nation very uncomfortable. Seeing Carthage re-strengthen so quickly was not something Rome had expected. Yet here they were, paying off their
Yeah, they're like,
debts,
oh,
extending
wait
their
a minute.
territory. It didn't feel very much like Carthage was under Rome's thumb at all, and Rome wanted to put an end to it.
Like, hey, look at they paid off their debt. Wait a minute, what's going
All it
on?
would take was one incident to trigger all-out war. And in 219 BC, a city in Spain
219
would find
BC.
itself at the very center of that fateful incident.
Saguntum.
Remember that treaty?
That's fun.
declaring
That's fun to say.
everything south of the
Saguntum.
river to be Carthage's
Saguntum.
sphere of influence? Well, Saguntum should therefore obviously be Carthaginian, right? Wrong! Saguntum had actually scored itself an informal alliance with Rome after Rome had helped it with an internal dispute.
Really? Tiny little Saguntum is
Encroachment.
an alliance
Saguntum
with
began to fight
Rome?
for its independence, and Rome declared itself Saguntum's protector. But this clearly went against the Ebro River Treaty. So what on earth was Rome doing? Were the Saguntines and the Romans truly just BFFs? It's possible. Or was Rome deliberately trying to interfere with Hannibal's Spanish expansion and maintain a staging post for a future war?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they had that treat or that alliance
And
even
Hannibal
before
certainly viewed
they
this
expanded into
Rome-Saguntum
Spain.
alliance as an outrage. Yet another example of Roman arrogance. At first, he left Saguntum alone. But having learnt from his father to hate all things Roman, and having inherited his father's dream of bringing Rome to its knees more and more, Hannibal may have begun to see Saguntum as an opportunity. Could this controversial alliance be
So
just
what did he do again? I've
Hannibal
only
needed
seen this
to
like
kickstart
a few
second war
times.
with Rome and and restore Carthaginian dominance.
Okay, so what did he do?
At Rome, we're also using Saguntum to goad Hannibal into a fight, so they could go and kick him out of Spain. And as the two giants began gearing up for round 2, the poor people of Saguntum had no idea.
Had no idea that they were used as a plot device in the Second Punic War.
With Saguntum is an insult, and we won't stand for it. They're our friends, Hannibal, and if you lay a finger on them, it'll be an act of war. Yeah, Hannibal, back the hell off. War, eh? I was thinking I might just besiege their city and massacre their people. I hope you do, Hannibal. Find out what happens. Yeah, we hope you do, Hannibal. Wait, what? Maybe I will. Kill them all. Okay then. Fine. Okay, guess I'll do just that.
And they're like, wait, what's going on? Hey.
Consul. Down. Top it all off when the Saguntine people
Oh no!
decision of raiding into
Like, hey, we're just gonna siege them. And it was like, why don't you try and siege them? And they're like, yeah, wait,
that
what?
was guaranteed to provoke
Like,
the
hey,
Romans
Rome,
into
you're gonna help us, right? Right?
besiege the city. The siege of Saguntum lasted 8 cruel months before Hannibal broke through the city defenses and turned Saguntum into a killing field. It was a massacre. What the hell? Tell me I didn't just catch you massacring our friends, the Sugantes. Well, Consul, if you like the Sugantes so much, perhaps you should sug on these nuts.
Oh!
Hearing word of the attack on Saguntum, Rome was understandably in an uproar, and all eyes were now fixated on what would happen next, as Rome sent a delegation to Carthage, led by one of the most highly esteemed Roman senators.
Fabius Maximus.
He demanded an answer for Hannibal's sins. All right, listen up, scum. You've got a rogue general in Spain attacking a Roman ally. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, there shouldn't have even been a Roman ally in Spain. You're the aggressor here. Hand Hannibal over to us as a criminal so we can punish him severely. No, yes,
Punish him severely.
No. Look, I hold in the folds of my toga both peace and war. Which one should I let drop?
He really said this.
Whichever one you want.
Whichever one you want.
Choose.
Oh!
The Second Punic War had begun.
Oh, war it is.
Pack it up, boys. We've got them. We already destroyed these clowns once, and we were the underdogs. Now, we're the overdogs? Hot dogs.
Overdogs?
Exactly.
Hot dogs?
Easy. Here's the plan. Consul Longus, you take your army and sail straight
Kissy
for
face
Carthage.
Longus.
Burn that city to the ground. And Consul Scipio, you just head on over to Iberia and make sure this Hannibal guy doesn't do anything crazy. I mean, what's he gonna do? Cross the Alps? We're going to what?
Yep, you're gonna cross the Alps.
We're going to what? I just
told you.
We'll freeze to death. Trust me, Jerome. The Romans are expecting us to fight the same way we did last time. Passively, taking no initiative. They think it's gonna be easy. So this time, we have to be aggressive. We have to go.
We have to be the aggressive go-getters.
Sickens me to say this, but this time we have to be
And be a little more Roman.
We're gonna take poops and baths together, but I'm insecure about my hairy legs. I'm saying this time we're gonna take.
I'm insecure about my hairy legs.
Rome thinks they're simply going to invade us and win the war.
Yep,
So when
because
they
Rome
find
was
the
the aggressive go-getters.
from the north,
So now,
freak out.
Carthage has to be the aggressive go-getters.
The buffet runs out of shrimp. Hey! I know it. It's actually kind of genius. And my hairy legs will insulate me from the cold. That's the spirit. Hannibal, you have my sword and my spear.
Yeah.
And my legs. Ugh.
Probably should have kept them to yourself.
Hannibal's plan, a daring alpine trek to surprise the Romans, was a bold but risky strategy. If it paid off, he could catch
No
the
pants
Romans
party.
against them. But he could also end up losing a ton of men and supplies in the hostile mountain conditions.
They all
Nevertheless,
froze.
in 218 BC, with a fire in his eyes and some vengeance in his belly.
Vengeance in his belly.
100,000 men across the Ebro River. They spent months on the road.
They crossed the
trekking through
river.
the cold, hostile mountain conditions. And
Now
when
up
they
the
finally
mountains.
reached the other side, they said, "Hooray! We did it! We crossed the Alps." No, those were the Pyrenees.
Those are the Pyrenees.
Those are
Those are the Alps. Oh yeah, that's the Alps.
After crossing the Pyrenees, the army then had to pass through southern Gaul, a vast territory.
Oh yeah, they had to get
to
through the Gaul.
Many
They had to get through the
fought to
Gaelics.
Hannibal's presence. His journey to the Alps was an ordeal in itself, as he was forced to fight his way through and incurred pretty hefty losses before even reaching the mountains. His plan was almost stopped in its tracks entirely, as the Roman consul Scipio, on his way to Iberia, discovered Hannibal was right on his doorstep. Suddenly, Hannibal's journey became a race, as he rushed to get his massive army across the vast Rhone River before the Romans could intercept him. The crossing was chaotic, with the panic.
Oh jeez. Why you gotta torture the elephants like that?
And the first combat of the war occurred when small scouting parties from each side encountered one another. When Scipio finally caught up to Hannibal's position, what he found was an empty Carthaginian camp. Hannibal had slipped through his fingers. The Roman
See you
consul
later.
Scipio felt the weight of the situation. Quite unbelievably, Hannibal was going to cross the Alps into Italy, and the Romans had no idea.
We'll send a
where
little
he
detachment.
would
Hold them off so we can get to the Alps.
First time, a Carthaginian force had the Roman homeland under threat. Scipio sent his men onto Iberia as planned, but he himself rushed home to raise a new army so that if Hannibal survived the crossing, Scipio would be there, waiting. Would you look at that, boys? We're here, the Alps. Although it is a little later than I expected. Yeah, it's kind of chilly. We'll set up camp here and wait for spring, right? It's way too cold, right?
Here we go. Hannibal.
Hannibal's famous crossing of the Alps was brutal. It was already autumn, and the men suffered terribly. It was cold. Men would fall off the sides of icy cliffs. They starved. They fell off the sides of icy cliffs. Some sources say they had to eat their pack animals and would finish off dying comrades in order to take their clothes for extra warmth. And then they would fall off the sides of icy cliffs.
Dang, losing everybody.
Of 50,000 men, with all of their
50,000 men.
and 37 elephants trying to navigate.
So how many do they have left after that?
Range in Europe. And it wasn't just nature that they were up against. Tribespeople lived in the mountains, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
And they were like, hey, fresh resources.
Hey man, geez, that's some nice armor. What is that, gold? Man, I'd really like that armor. Hey boss, they've got food as well. Shut up, be cool. Hey, why don't you let us guide you through this narrow gorge? We're not gonna kill you or nothing. Just walk right on through there. We're not gonna kill you.
We're not gonna kill ya.
We're not gonna kill you. Hannibal's army were forced to fight their way through the gorge as massive boulders rained down on them from above.
Dang.
Some clever reorganization of his line helped them survive. And they
Heavy
were
infantry
able to
back,
fight off the
supplies and
opportunistic
cavalry in the
tribes.
front.
But losses from the constant attacks were heavy. As the journey continued, men who went over the sides would get stuck on the ice sheets below and had to make a grisly choice between starving to death or just getting it over with. When the deeply demoralized army reached the summit and rested for a couple days, Hannibal tried to lift their spirits with a rousing speech. Look, men, down there, it's Rome. These plains stretching out in front of you are bountiful with food to eat and Romans to kill.
Oh.
Move, Bessie! Look, you have just climbed the walls of Rome. The hard part is over. From here on out, it's all downhill. And
Literally.
nobody else will die. Except for them. The rest of us here, no one dies. Starting now. Okay, let's go. Oh, for goodness sake! As it turned out, the descent was as deadly as the way up, with the cold really
Yep,
starting to
descents are always worse than
became even more narrow.
than
At one point,
the climb up.
they spent 3 days in the freezing cold, repairing a collapsed road. When they finally reached the bottom, Hannibal said, "Look, guys, we did it." Well, I thought it went really well. When Hannibal left Spain, he had about 100,000 men. By the time he reached the Italian plains, his numbers had
Oh boy, yeah.
he was now caught in enemy
Dude
territory
lost
without a supply line or
almost.
source
Dude
of
lost
reinforcements. And any
74% of his
elephants who
army.
survived to this point were almost certainly traumatized. So what on earth was Hannibal up to?
That's not good.
Military
That's not
genius
good at
just
all.
led a starving and
Lost
weakened army
74%
right into
of his
enemy
army.
territory. Any modern general who lost half their men to mountains would be immediately fired. and
Fired
possibly
immediately.
pantsed on live TV. Here's the
Okay,
thing.
I don't think we'd
While
do that to a
Hannibal may
general
not
on
have
TV.
planned on losing quite so many men, he had almost certainly expected
But yeah,
considerable losses.
any general that
Had a
lost
plan for how to
over
replace
over half of their men like that, yeah, you're out.
men. Big, burly Celtic men. All the men Hannibal
What are the
would ever
Celts
need
doing in
to
Italy?
beat off Rome.
Shouldn't
These
they be in
Celts
like
were filled with
a little more
resentment,
north,
having only recently
like where the
been
UK
conquered
and
by
Ireland are?
Hannibal hoped
And
to
Scotland?
be seen as a liberator, convince the Celts to cut ties with Rome, and instead join him in crushing Rome. That way, he could gain a source of reinforcements and supplies right in Rome's backyard. But sir, in order to win the loyalty of the Celts, we would need to make a seriously favorable impression on them. How do we get them to like us? Kill them. One of Hannibal's first actions in Italy was to obliterate a nearby tribe who wouldn't join him. This sent a clear
Dang.
message to all the other tribes. It was his wrath they should fear, not Rome's. The realization that a Carthaginian army had just invaded them must have been shocking for the Romans. But when they looked at this ragtag group broken by the Alps, they couldn't have felt very intimidated. However,
They're like, dang, that's all
was
it?
now in Italy, and
No reason to be
he
scared
was
about
about
them.
to embark
Once they come
on one of the
knocking
most
on Rome, then we'll take care of them.
military campaigns
They're not a threat right
in
now.
human history. The Romans may not have known it yet, but there was now a monster loose in their territory, and he was vying for Roman blood.
Oh, how do we jump to the next part?
Hannibal's army had
There we
survived
go.
its famous crossing of the Alps, and he was now in Italy. With Hannibal's arrival, the
Hannibal's
Roman
army and
consul
Roman
Scipio
consul Scipio,
hit
the ground running.
In typical Roman fashion,
He marched his army
at the
straight
and Hannibal
straight at the enemy, and Hannibal began to prepare for his first combat with Rome on Italian soil.
Before the battle, Hannibal wanted to inspire his men.
Oh,
so he staged
another
a
speech.
gladiatorial
Oh.
deathmatch.
Oh, dang.
With the winner getting prizes and freedom. He then explained that the
Well, that's a
whole
good
thing
way of
was a
freaking rousing your prisoners.
metaphor. For what? You! These warriors are you! You're trapped in Italy with no escape. Your only choice now is to fight and win. What about the dead guy? That's you if you don't win. And the prizes? That's what you stand to gain by winning. And the fact that I've soiled myself with all this excitement? No, that's not part of the metaphor.
I just swelled myself in this excitement.
Okay. Hannibal also
Okay.
smashed in the head of a goat. Again, for inspiration.
Ooh.
On the other hand, now arriving in the area, opted for the more classic route of a rousing pre-battle speech. Look at them, men. Weak, starved by the Alps, while we are the strongest military in the world. This will be easy. Like
You say
10,000
that.
horse-sized ducks fighting a baby-sized baby. It'll be
Baby-sized
like Tyson
baby?
in Prime kicking a baby. A tug of war between 10 sumo wrestlers
And a baby?
Help me out here, Ralph. A baby, sir? Yes, that's it.
Why there's nothing but babies on your mind?
There is absolutely no possible way we could lose a battle this easy. So, if everybody's ready, on my mark,
Hey! He made an epic, not an epic face, a rage comic face. And now he's scared.
the Battle of Ticinus was over almost as soon as it had begun, as the Romans found themselves completely outmatched by Hannibal's famed lightning-fast Numidian cavalry.
Dang, Numidian cavalry was able to survive?
Devastating double
Lightning fast Numidian cavalry plus
And the
double
king,
envelopment
Scipio,
technique.
was wounded. Thankfully, according to some ancient writers, his handsome 17-year-old son, Scipio the Younger, saw his
Scipio
father
the
fall.
Younger.
Scipio the Younger supposedly saved his father, and in the process, earned himself a lot of Daddy's kisses. The Romans began fleeing the area, destroying the bridge behind them as they went. For a nation so overtly confident in victory, believing Hannibal to be an easy kill, the Romans found themselves running away with their...
You guys ran away on your home turf?
It was humiliating. And you know who thought so as well? The Celts.
The Celts. They're like, dang, dude. They really ran away on their home turf? We're gonna join up with Hannibal.
Fighting for Rome in the Roman camp began to reconsider. Man, I'm thinking we should try to join Hannibal. I hear you. Maybe we should bring him a gift. What do you think he'd like? Oh, I know. Hey, Hannibal. We want to join your side, and we brought you a present. A gift? For me? I hope it's Roman heads. Oh, please. Oh, please be Roman heads.
Roman heads!
How did you know? Getting away from Hannibal was humiliating enough, but having dozens of Romans...
Dang! That's crazy.
Embarrassing. Ticinus had been a relatively small battle.
Dude,
Psychological
Rome got super humiliated
huge.
on their home turf.
Taste of what Hannibal was capable of. Despite the
They ran from Hannibal. They got beheaded by their Celtic prisoners. Dude.
Danger posed by the monster now loose in their territory.
If I heard that, I'm like, okay, let's actually send an army over there to go kick them.
That's why we lost. Yeah, and it was a cavalry battle. Wait until Hannibal faces our almighty legions, and our consul will be old. Once he faces our other fully follicle
Longus.
he'll really pee his pants. That other consul, Longus, had been in the south all
He was.
time.
Oh, what's he doing over there?
He had seen some success, even capturing Malta. But then he heard the news. Hannibal's in Italy, and I'm being ordered home. But I was gonna be the big boy. I was gonna invade Carthage and win the war. Well, you can be a big boy at home.
He can be a big boy at home.
Somebody need a nap, sir? No!
Dang.
So Longus brought his army on the long journey north. When he
was like, I gotta go all the way home.
The two consuls joined their forces together, creating a double consular army. But the two consuls weren't exactly on the same page. Having a nice rest there, old man? I'm wounded, Longus. Pathetic. You don't understand. He's more dangerous than we thought. Maybe for you. Whoops. Listen, we can't just march straight at him like we normally do. We need to train our men through the winter, and we'll try again in spring. Sorry, I don't take advice from a bowling ball. Hey, I'll kick your ass, Longus. Okay, now, I'm coming.
Why don't you just get your son?
Wait. Oh, Scipio, you feeble old man. Scipio was apparently quite cautious after his recent encounter with Hannibal, while Longus, typically Roman, to give Hannibal a swirly. So who would get their way? Well, when two consuls joined their forces, it turned out the Romans had an interesting system in place. They would each take turns being the one in charge. Consul 1
Makes sense.
would lead one day, then Consul 2 the next. Back and forth, back and forth. As you can imagine, when the two consuls didn't agree,
Oh, that didn't work, did it?
go so well. In this case, due to Scipio's injury, Longus probably assumed even more command than normal. Hannibal had Celtic spies in the Roman camp. He fully understood the Roman system and Longus's hot-headed nature, and he knew he could exploit it. Hannibal needed to keep smashing the Romans in battle in order to maintain the loyalty of the Celts, and so he was eager to fight another battle. The combined Roman force possibly outnumbered him, so he...
That's only a 2,000 men difference.
While Longus was still in
It's not that bad.
The plan began with his army.
Hey, someone's playing 3DS in the game or in the bed.
Time for lights out. Sorry, but we got a big day ahead of us. Tomorrow,
Actually, that's the kind that I have.
massacre the Romans.
And then I modded it.
Night, boys. Dream of revenge. Gorzog.
Why does he have an orc?
The cavalry. That night, Hannibal's Numidian...
Oh, hold on a second. Alright, sorry about that.
cavalry made their way over to the Roman camp,
There we go.
arriving just before dawn. Hey, Romans! Wakey, wakey.
Wait, so if I...
What the?
No, that doesn't do
What's
anything.
going on? Hey, Longus, your butt smells like a butt. It does not. Skip
A
you.
butt's supposed to
Away
smell like
from
a
the
butt.
troops. Longus, these playground insults are clearly meant to lure you out. Well, it's working. Send out the troops. Longus, it's clearly a trap, and I'm falling for it. Send out the troops. Hey guys.
And I'm falling
Heading
for
into
it!
battle.
Send out the troops!
But we haven't had breakfast. We're skipping breakfast. I don't think you can do that. As the Romans hurried out of camp, the
I don't think
Numidians
you can
began
do that.
luring them back to the Carthaginian camp, where these gentle angels were just awakening from their slumber. Eat up, boys.
Hey!
Having pancakes.
Yeah, see, Hannibal was the best leader.
Were enjoying their hearty breakfast. The starving Romans were still on their way. Hurry up! We have to catch those Numidians. Hey, why have you stopped marching? Longus, there's a freezing river in front of us. Well,
They didn't even get their breakfast
Maximus.
while they're up super early.
All right, boys, time to lather up. This oil will insulate you from the cold. It also
That
smells
true?
like lavender. There's the Carthaginian camp. Get
I'm gonna
ready
look
to
that up.
fight, men.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I need to pause this.
Take the water from the
I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to look up... and there's my Brave browser, let's see. Can oil insul... How the heck did it know? Can oil insulate you from the cold? Let's see. Okay, AI overview, what do you have? Body oils can provide insulation and protection against cold, dry weather by creating a barrier that seals in moisture, preventing transdermal water loss. They nourish skin, protecting it from harsh, cold temperatures, and when massaged in, can improve circulation to keep you warm. However, they do not generate heat. Okay. Well, considering that the soldiers were on the move, it kind of makes sense. Skin protection, moisture retention limitations. While oils provide a protective layer, they are most effective when used in combination with proper clothing and skincare routines to maintain heat. Okay, so I guess it does help a bit.
river is beginning.
I did not know that. Okay.
I can't move. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought war would be fun? Sitting around a nice hot campfire?
Yeah, so I'd imagine they'd probably lather oil on themselves and then warm themselves up a bit. I don't know, jogging in place or staying by the fire.
Hey, look guys. The Romans are here.
Oh yeah, they're not ready for a battle.
Having perfectly orchestrated events so that his enemy was cold, tired, and hungry.
Cold, tired, hungry.
Were well rested and covered
Rested,
in oil.
covered in
The two
oil.
sides engaged one another. The
Covered in oil and fed.
no condition to fight. And the cherry on top, the previous night, Hannibal had sent out an elite force of men.
An elite force led by his
to
brother
go
Mago.
behind a bush. They suddenly
Oh yeah,
arrived,
this was too
encircling the
perfect.
exhausted Romans.
Oh
Then
boy.
cut to pieces. Once again, Hannibal's superior cavalry and double envelopment tactics had flummoxed the Romans. But the key word at Trebia was control. Hannibal used his intel on the enemy and the environment of the battlefield to carefully
Yeah, that's
control
basically what
the
modern
conditions of
generals
battle,
do now.
creating
Get
lots of little
intel and
advantage
use the
points
terrain
that
to your
pave the way
advantage.
to success. And
And then set up events so that they
all of these things
help
are
you.
what make Hannibal the genius
A genius he's remembered as today.
As for Longus, he managed to escape.
He
the
escaped.
battlefield with a small number of troops. Disgraced, he didn't want the Senate to find out what had happened, and he began
So what'd he
obscure
do?
communications back to Rome. Longus, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Nowhere in particular. Longus, 30,000
Nowhere in
men
particular.
missing. Do you know where they are? They're taking a bath. 30,000 men? All in a bath? Yes. Longus,
Yes.
What's under that rug? Aurora Borealis? Oh,
Aurora Borealis.
oh, well, that's my consulship over. Good luck with Hannibal. Bye. Trebia.
Wow.
Disaster for the Romans.
Wow.
Celts began flocking to Hannibal. Rome largely lost its
And then Celts came up
over
to
Cisalpine, Gaul.
pick off the remaining
Complacency
enemies.
turned to alarm. Hannibal had outwitted them on their own soil and inflicted a costly defeat. But with that, Scipio and Longus's terms as consul were over.
They're like, oh,
They
we're
were
out.
replaced with two new consuls, Servilius.
Servilius and
The
Flaminius.
Romans may now have begun
Hey,
to
why does
realize
Flaminius
the
look like
trouble they
that?
were in, and
Looks like he wants to
the
stab
genius
somebody.
Hannibal had shown in invading Italy. The Romans had expected to be the ones controlling this war. Remember, they thought they were going to invade Carthage. Now their plans lay in ruins, and they were levying 11 new legions.
11 new legions.
Hannibal had completely redefined the war. But Hannibal had a little problem of his own. Things had gone well so far, but the Celts were notoriously fickle, and Hannibal needed to ensure he maintained their alliance and his base of support in Italy. Any Celts he captured fighting for Rome, he treated extremely well and allowed them to return to their homes. But the longer
He's like, all right, guys, you can go home.
eating all their food and leaving beard trimmings in their sinks, the more resentful
Leaving beard
become.
trimmings.
They wanted to
Yeah, you don't want that.
and plunder some
Be sure to
Roman
clean off the
and
sink when
then
you're done
also
shaving.
sway Rome's other Italian allies in the south to his side. So from here, the path was clear. Hannibal had to move south. Just one problem. There were two.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, you're in the north. How are you gonna get
Move
south?
And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly where the two new Roman consuls had taken fortified positions. If Hannibal tried to move on them, he'd be fighting from a disadvantaged position and could be bottled in. There is
Yep.
a third option. Ooh, tell me. We could move through this vast impassable marshland flooded with dirty, stinky, disease-infested water that at times would
Ew.
But there's no way we would attempt that, right? That'd be crazy, right?
Remember when we passed through the Alps?
Hannibal? Hannibal's 4-day
March we go.
across the Arno marshlands was hell on earth. Almost as crazy as when he crossed the Alps. Imagine 3 full days.
Full days unable to sit or lie down. Yeah, because you're in a swamp.
4 full days without sleep, slugging through heavy mud. You contract cholera. Your foot falls off. And
Oh, no.
Directly in front of you won't stop pooping in your path.
Ooh.
In your path.
Ooh,
Would
dookie.
see clumps of mud and say, man, I could just sink into that. And then they would. When pack animals died, it gave nearby men a chance to rest, but only for a few moments
Dang.
before they were whipped back into line. Even Hannibal himself couldn't
Couldn't escape the torture.
Hey Hannibal, if we see
There's a
I need
Starbucks.
to take a leak.
Ooh. Ugh.
Jeez, Hannibal. Looks like you picked up a nasty eye infection. Normally for this sort of thing, we just wash it out with some clean water. But as you can see, water everywhere, but it's full of Jim Bob's poop. No worries, Doc. I'll just take care of it myself. That'll be $3,000. When the now possibly one-eyed Hannibal and his army emerged from the swamp, they were shattered. But
At least he has a cool new eye patch.
to slip 50,000 men right past the Romans into rich Etrurian lands, where he could replenish his supplies, and his Celt allies could go crazy, securing Roman loot.
Yeah, look at him go.
As fields and villages went up in flames, one Roman consul couldn't help but notice the hot-headed Flaminius, feeling it was his
Oh, so he looks like that 'cause he's hot-headed.
lands. Rather than waiting for his co-consul to come join him, immediately left to go chase Hannibal. Now, this Flaminius was an interesting character. He was what the Romans called a new man. He came from the lower plebeian classes of Roman society.
Oh, he rose through the ranks.
Kind of a screw you attitude to the establishment, and a big old arrogant chip on his shoulder. Picture vicious, wearing a
Oh, okay.
Flaminius and Hannibal, thanks to his spies, knew everything. Just as with Longus, Hannibal knew Flaminius was just the kind of man he could lure into a trap. Hannibal led Flaminius to the entrance of a narrow pass along the north shore of Lake Trasimene. Flaminius watched as Hannibal's army entered the pass. I've done it. I've spotted the enemy. Sir? That big fall.
Oh, that's a trap, dude.
Like they're trying to lure you in.
He's gonna fall for it
Gareth,
just like
and
Longus.
I'm taking the bait. Sir, this really seems like a trap. Yes, Gareth, and I'm falling for it. Daylight was fading.
Literally what Longus did.
The Romans set up camp. The two armies encamped across the lake from one another, and night fell over the two camps. In the morning, Flaminius would catch up to Hannibal, and he would be the hero of Rome.
Hey, he's got a
The Romans got
Marcus poster in the back.
their beds. Good night, Flaminius.
Marcus from the first
Good night.
Punic War.
Good evening, Hannibal. During the night, Hannibal ordered total stealth.
Or I think no, Regulus. Regulus from the first Punic War, not Marcus, my
Thousands of
bad.
troops scaled the wooded hills above the pass,
Bravo 6, going dark.
completely undetected by Rome's scouts. Let's go, girls. Flaminius took off across the lake shore to try to catch Hannibal. As he did, even the weather seemed to be on Hannibal's side. A thick fog rose from the surface of the lake, obscuring visibility. Look at this!
Ah, see, but Hannibal set up for it.
Mist will
He set
obscure
up for them.
Hannibal will never see me coming. Sir? Why does it sound like 50,000 Carthaginians are charging down the hill towards us? You mean 50,000 Carthaginians are charging right into my trap? The Romans found themselves completely hemmed in on all sides. With zero visibility in the fog, the fighting was terrifying and chaotic. Troops were pushed into the lake in their heavy
Dang.
armor, where they were either cut down or drowned. And Flaminius, who likely stood out like a sore thumb in his consul attire, caught the attention of one Celt warrior, with his head possibly swirling thoughts of how the Romans had decimated his homeland. According to the ancient writers, this
That was
Celt
perfect.
took his chance.
Alright, 300.
In the 3-hour-long massacre, 15,000
Wow.
an equal number captured. And
Dang,
entire
they got ratioed.
completely wiped out, along with their consul. During the battle, the Roman vanguard had managed to break through at the front and climbed the hill above the fog. When the mist cleared, what they saw was a blood-red lake and a sea of Roman bodies.
Whoa.
Worse yet, when the other consuls sent cavalry to try to aid Flaminius's doomed legions, they too were caught and defeated.
Dang.
Double
Hannibal just
disaster.
kicking butt left and right.
Rome went into a frenzy.
Yeah, see now Rome is acting like Carthage
had
did.
completely decimated an entire Roman army. Romans were dying by the tens of thousands. Common citizens began flocking to the city for safety. Women waited by the city gates in tears,
Dang.
waiting to hear news of loved ones. This one man, having just led his battered army across the Alps the previous year, now stood less than 100 miles from Rome. To this point, he had been a problem. Now, Hannibal was a crisis.
Oh yeah.
In a crisis, Rome took desperate measures. They actually had a system in place when dealing with an emergency of this magnitude.
So what happened?
They would forgo their two consul power sharing
Their
system.
two console
and
power sharing system.
temporarily give one man near total power and authority.
Power and
to be
authority.
As decisive as he needed, and hopefully salvage the situation. This all-powerful position in Rome's government had a name.
Dictator.
Dictator. It's actually where we get the
Okay, we need one leader instead of
Modern
two.
Dictators, Roman ones didn't score.
Forget the rule of two. We need the rule of one.
To the Siberian tundra. They held their power for just 6 months before they were required to
6 months instead of a year.
Rome's hour of need.
Dang, so one leader for half the time of two consuls.
BC, one of the most highly esteemed members of the Roman Senate, Fabius.
Fabius Maximus.
So how would Fabius, as dictator, confront Hannibal? Well, Fabius understood that marching all of Rome's young men straight into a one-man meat grinder was bleeding Rome dry.
Yeah, like,
Was
let's not
clearly
do
too
that.
close to face head-on in battle. However, he was also stuck in their territory with dwindling manpower and forced to live off the land. It wasn't a sustainable position to be in long-term, and he could only remain there for so long. So,
Oh no, not Mr.
avoided
Beast
battle
Burger.
to prevent any more crippling losses, and instead simply maneuvered around him, blocking supplies and taking out smaller contingents where possible. Hannibal would gradually become weaker, while they would gradually become stronger. And so Fabius presented his new idea to the Roman Senate. Okay, guys, I have an idea. See if you can follow me here, okay?
Okay.
Instead of fighting Hannibal, when he approaches, we run away.
Is that it? No, I was like, whoa, here, let's hear him out. Is that it?
Strategy.
And if he said yes, I would have thrown a tomato.
Romans were meant to march headfirst into battle, not run.
Because Rome were always the aggressive go-getters.
Cowardly, and Fabius was extremely unpopular. At this point, Hannibal was continuing south. He had to stay on the move.
And he's like, alright, I'm just gonna go south.
And he was still aiming to undermine Rome's alliances in the south. As he went, in a calculated display of aggression, he devastated the Roman countryside and killed many Romans, all in plain sight of Fabius and his army. We're just gonna stand here? Yes. Are you a coward? No. But Fabius,
No.
that's my farm. Well, McDonald, thank you for your sacrifice. You're a hero now. Think of the stories you'll tell. Old MacDonald had a farm. Shut up. But you know who else?
Oh, so E-I-E-I-O is how he cries.
He understood the danger he was in. Turning Rome's allies against her required Hannibal to keep smashing the Romans in battle. He couldn't do
Yep,
that
he had to keep
if
winning.
Fabius wouldn't fight him.
Oh.
Tried to goad Fabius into a fight, but Fabius wouldn't bite. Failing that, he tried to turn Rome against Fabius. According to the writer Livy, he burned down all the farms he could, but any farm he learned was owned by Fabius himself.
Oh, snap. So Hannibal is burning down farmlands,
Your farm. You got some
so he
sort of
can't raid and
secret
replenish his forces.
Of course not.
And he's not being able to turn any of Rome's allies against him because he's not winning any battles.
What? Burn my farm too, please! No! Remember our secret deal!
What?
Well, you gotta admit, he's a genius. Hannibal's problem, however, was that he had to stay on the move to keep supplying his army from the local
He's supplying his
lands.
army from the
At
local
one point,
lands.
he entered
At one point, he
Campania, one of
entered
the richest
Campania.
regions of Italy. Great for resupplying, and great for showing up Fabius in front of Rome's South Italian allies. But he was caught in a valley, and Fabius quickly moved to block his escapes. Haha! We've got him! After he's used up all the valley's supplies, he'll starve. Sir? What are all those lights leaving the valley? Is he trying to escape? Lights in plain view. Well, that's a trap if I've ever seen one. And we're falling for it! Suspecting a trap,
Oh,
Fabius
Rome, stop
refused
falling
to
for
budge.
traps.
But other Romans in the valley rushed to confront Hannibal, only to find the Carthaginian army was actually just a herd of oxen with torches tied to their heads. They then
Dude,
was caught
that
in an
is an epic
With the
troll.
Romans distracted, Hannibal's army
Like, here, let's
was
put
able to
torches on
slip
these
away
cows
into the
and then
night
just have them go through.
unopposed. Classic.
I'm like, oh, dude, what is just
When he
cows?
was in action, the dissatisfied Romans mockingly dubbed him Fabius the Delayer. The thing is, Fabius's strategy was probably the best thing he could have done. He was right that constant encounters with Hannibal were bleeding Rome dry, and the time he took allowed Rome some breathing room to recover their forces when they desperately needed to, while putting Hannibal into an increasingly more difficult position. Modern historians view Fabius's strategy as generally a
As
good idea.
a generally good idea. I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad.
Enemy, but instead, gradually wearing them down.
Oh,
is
hey,
still
look.
Referred to as the Fabian
You got Obama, you got Joe, you got
Fabius's
Hillary,
term finally came to an end. The Senate couldn't have been happier.
and his dictatorship
to start
ended.
fighting again. However, they probably had a little chat about how they were going to go about it. See, Hannibal's tactics up until now had been very sneaky. Or, if you're a Roman, you might say dishonorable. I'm sick of it. Every time we
Well,
try
they
to
gotta
take
be
that
sneaky
down,
themselves.
we march straight at him. But then, oh no, Hannibal's hiding in a bush. Hannibal's got 30,000 men up a tree. At this point, I'm
He's hiding in a bush. He gets men up a tree. Nah, I think that's actually just your
This
wife.
time, we obviously have to switch something up. Now, granted, we're Roman.
Unless Hannibal is...
Without thinking.
Hold on,
Can't be
hold on,
helped.
hold on,
It's
hold
in our
on.
blood.
Hannibal is basically Majima in this situation. The eye patch, the popping up everywhere and sneaking and hiding. That we'll see Majima do in the first game, once we beat Yakuza 0. But Hannibal is Majima. Oh my god.
But I have a proposition. This time, when we march straight at him, we do it with a massive army. I'm talking like 80,000 men. It won't matter what kind of shenanigans he pulls.
Dude, you're gonna waste all your men this way.
No way he can possibly beat off 80,000 men. You know what I mean? And so it was. With two
In the words of Archer,
Rome
phrasing.
together,
Did we forget
massive
phrasing?
the biggest Rome had ever fielded to put Hannibal away once and for all. To gather the men required, 2/3 of them ended up being completely inexperienced. But how much experience does it take to be expendable war fodder?
He's like, I've never been to war. You're hired.
In the summer of 216 BC, the Romans knew.
Let's see.
To win
The
this
campaign
battle,
started in
just one
219.
victory
It's now
over Hannibal
216.
would likely be enough to end his entire
So it's only been 3 years.
and this time, their overwhelming manpower gave them confidence they could do it. Hannibal had taken position at the town of Cannae, where he had captured an important Roman
Cannae.
supply depot. With Fabius gone, Hannibal knew a battle was likely coming, and he was eager to fight it on his terms. But when his men looked out at the Roman camp, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. That army's huge! There's no way we can possibly beat off all these men. How are we gonna beat off all of these men? I think he's right, Hannibal. Hannibal is then said to have
Hey,
replied,
trust Hannibal. He has a
My
plan.
friend, don't worry. There may be a lot of them, but amongst their ranks, there's not a single man named Gisco. This joke was apparently so funny that his officers began to laugh and laugh. And when his men in the camp heard the laughter, they were like, hey, they're laughing. I guess that means we're gonna win the battle. Yippee! As for the
Hey,
the conflict
unintentional morale boost.
between an inexperienced hothead and a wise scholar. Although the main
A
history
hot-headed go-getter and a wise scholar.
His family, so take that with a grain of salt. On his day of command, the rash and hasty Varro, despite the apparent pleas from Paulus, sent the army out for battle. And when Hannibal saw this, he did the same. And here comes the single largest battle of the Second Punic War, and one of the most renowned battles in history, the infamous Battle
Oh, I remember this
Cannae.
battle.
In all the pre-battle maneuvering, Hannibal was able to ensure his army was fighting from the south. This meant the seasonal dust-carrying winds were to his back and blowing directly into the faces of the Romans. Like I said, control.
Control?
After 2 years in Italy, Hannibal's infantry had dwindled to about 40,000. The Romans possibly outnumbered him 2-1. Their army was so big that their maniples stretched far deeper than they normally
Uh-oh.
did. The
Yep,
Romans
that's
planned
too
to
big.
Charge Hannibal's thin, weak line like a battering ram and break it. They also chose a narrow battlefield in the hopes it would prevent Hannibal's far superior cavalry from being able
Dude, you're gonna
to
get stuck.
outmaneuver them. They wanted an honorable battle where pure strength rather than trickery would decide the outcome. If Hannibal had his say, however, trickery might end up having a lot to do with it. He ordered his line to position themselves as an outward bulge, with his weakest...
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Just
Like, here we
behind them,
go.
Out of sight from the Romans stood the elite Libyan infantry, waiting for their moment to strike. The battle commenced as the massive Roman troops smashed into the Carthaginian center.
Yup.
The shape of Hannibal's line ensured the overwhelming weight of the Romans hit his weakest troops first, and they were pushed back. Hannibal's outward bulge reversed inward.
Yup,
The Romans began
yup, it's
funneling
working.
towards the weak center. Hannibal had positioned himself at the center to encourage the troops to hold out as long as possible.
Like,
against
you
the
got this,
Roman
guys!
onslaught. Because while the Romans were unleashing carnage on the center, Hannibal's cavalry needed time to do their job. The heavy cavalry on the left, after a barbaric fight, sent the Roman horse packing,
Yup.
with the consul Paulus even sustaining a severe head injury. He managed to move into the center to keep the battle going. Then, the heavy cavalry turned and approached Varro's cavalry from behind. At the first sight of the coming Carthaginian envelopment, Varro ordered his horsemen to flee the battlefield. The
Dang,
Carthaginians
he made like a scared
won
One
the
Piece
cavalry
face.
battle. But back in the center, according to some
Oh,
accounts,
and there it is.
line did eventually end up caving to the massive weight of the Romans, and they began to flee. The Romans pushed deeper, and organization within the army likely broke down as they became a giant mass, trying to massacre
Yep.
the fleeing Carthaginians.
I'm like, all right, guys, back up. And then they lose organization because there's just so many of them.
At that moment, Hannibal's elite units, having done no fighting yet, and therefore fresh as a daisy, turned and smashed.
Yep, they're
into
just
the
chilling.
Roman sides.
Like, all right.
Many of these troops were wearing Roman helmets and armor they had picked up in previous battles, and the confused Romans
So that would confuse them.
realized they were the enemy. As Hannibal managed to regain the composure of his center and encourage them back into the fight, the Carthaginian cavalry swooped in from behind.
Yup, and they just came back.
At what lies before you, a military general's wet
Yup.
dream, the total encirclement of a much larger force by a much smaller force. The Romans were trapped. Hannibal had unbelievably managed to use their own superiority in numbers against them. Rather than simply encircling them, he had actually allowed them to use their own immense power.
Yup, it wasn't
and
just
push
encirclement.
themselves
It was
into
literally
an
just have them
encircled position.
Have them
This
get themselves
was the
close enough to where you can
genius
cap
of
them in.
Cannae. And with that, the annihilation began. For hours.
Yeah,
the
see? 'Cause they're trapped. They can't
Carthaginians
even
slaughtered the helpless Romans
raise their
on
arms to,
both
like,
sides.
get their
The
weapons.
terrified Romans were so tightly packed that at times they couldn't even lift their arms to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The killing
It was
was
literally
so
just
that the
a death
Carthaginians
sentence.
became exhausted from the non-stop massacre, and by the time the butchery came to an end, the grim toll spoke for itself. To Hannibal's several thousand lost, the Romans suffered 60 to 80.
Oh, that is a super ratio.
Captured. Yet another entire army wiped out by Hannibal. Many high-ranking Romans met their end at Cannae. Paulus, for one, but also 80 senators and more. It's been estimated that 20% of Rome's
Wow.
population aged 18 to 50 died at Cannae. This was it. Hannibal's vengeance. The stunned Carthaginians, as they searched for their own survivors among the dead, couldn't believe the sight of it. An estimated 30,000 gallons of blood now
Wow.
spilled on the battlefield. Rome's defeat at Cannae sent shockwaves throughout Italy. Just as Hannibal had hoped,
Dang.
most of southern Italy now defected to his
They heard about that. They're like,
including
ah,
the second-largest
screw Italy. They
city on
lost
the
that many
peninsula.
people.
Wow. Hannibal, this is incredible. What could possibly come next? Next? Jim Bob. I've killed 150,000 Romans. I've turned her allies against her. That's it. That's vengeance. So let me tell you what comes next. Rome surrenders. Their territories are reduced. We recover our lost islands. And Carthage dominates the Mediterranean once again. But sir, what if they don't surrender? Jim Bob, did you miss what just happened? Of course they're gonna surrender. Throughout his campaign, Hannibal had shown himself to be very adept at reading the Roman mind. But if he now thought that Rome might surrender, it was the first time he severely underestimated them. And he was about to discover an extremely inconvenient fact about Rome. Rome never surrenders. At a Roman survivors' camp near Cannae, one young officer overheard some troops discussing how they would flee Rome. Drawing his sword,
Oh.
to cut down any man that would abandon Rome in its hour of need. That officer,
Scipio the Younger.
but soon enough, the Romans would come to call him
Scipio Africanus.
the hero of Rome.
Yeah, and we'll watch part 3 next time. I don't think we have enough time for that. But yeah, that was good. Oh yeah, that's the second Punic War. And then, I think next time when we do this historic or history Let's Watch, we'll do part 3, and then we'll probably do another another oversimplified thing. I think in terms of chronological order, like historical chronological order, it's the Second Punic War, and then it should be Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So we do that, and then we'll probably watch something else. Just to like have a break in between oversimplified and oh dang. Astif movie? Okay, we're gonna need to do that. Team 4-star. Maybe do that. What else? What else is there? I mean, I guess those are the only things that I usually watch. Whoa, Alt History Hub, the Napoleonic Victory Timeline. Huh, I'm gonna watch that on my off time and see if it's any good. Again, if you don't know by now, I am a history buff. Like, if theatrics was not my favorite subject in, like, my favorite non-elective subject in school is history. So, yeah, I'm obviously a fan of history. Right. Anywho, enough of that. I'm actually going to post the schedule for this coming week. There we go. So this week we have Metal Gear Solid 3 again on Tuesday and more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Thursday. So look forward to that. Hold on, I'm gonna get some music going. There we go. But yeah, this is the schedule for this coming week. So be sure to set your notifications on if you have me on Twitch and YouTube. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Again, it was a chill impromptu stream of just me yapping for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then me reacting to the Second Punic War parts 1 and 2. And if we do get to another impromptu stream, we're gonna do the Second Punic War part 3, followed by the Three Kingdoms by Oversimplified. So look forward to that. But that's gonna be it for me. Again, thank you so much for coming to the stream. If you enjoyed what you saw, please follow me on Twitch, where I try to stream every other day Pacific Standard Time. Just be sure to keep track of the schedules that I post to X, formerly Twitter, as well as Blue Sky. Also follow me on Blue Sky as well, as I am much more active over there with my posts and updates. And if you're watching this VOD at any point in the future, please like and subscribe to me on YouTube, where I upload all my VODs so you never have to miss a single stream. And I just showed you the schedule for this coming week, so you already know what to expect. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you so much. I am Papa the Survivor, and I will see you guys when I see you. So see you later. Goodbye.